Let me ask you something. You have been in the UAE for 5 years, 10 years, maybe 20. You are earning well, you are saving. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there is a number, the number at which you stop working, return to India, and live the life you have been planning. But here is what I want to know. Where did that number come from? Did you calculate it carefully, or did you take a formula someone gave you? The 25x rule, the 4% rule, multiply your monthly expenses and feel quietly defeated by the result. Because in my experience, that is exactly what happens. People run the calculation with a formula that was not designed for them, get a number that feels impossibly large, and quietly decide that retiring comfortably in India is out of reach. Today, I want to show you that it is not. If you plan correctly using the right numbers for the Indian context, your retirement corpus is probably more achievable than you think. Let me show you the maths. Welcome to Investing with Siddick. I am Siddick, and this channel is for NRIs in the UAE and across the Gulf who want to build long term wealth in India, globally, and with confidence. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the retirement number framework I actually use and believe in. One that is built for the Indian context, not borrowed from American research from the 1990s. You will understand why the standard 4% rule gives you a number that is more conservative than it needs to be, and why even the man who created it has since moved well beyond it. By the end, you will have a clear, realistic, achievable target with a simple 5 step process to calculate it for your own situation. The message of this video is not fear, it is clarity and is hope. Let's get into it. Let me start with the formula most people use, the 4% rule. Take your expected annual expenses in retirement, multiply by 25, that is your corpus. So if you plan to spend 2 lakh rupees a month in India, 24 lakhs a year, the 4% rule says you need 6 crores. And many people, when they see that number, feel one of two things: mild relief if they are close, or quite defeat if they feel far away. But here is what I want you to understand. The 4% rule was created in 1994 by an American financial planner named William Bengen. It was designed for American retirees investing in American stocks markets, spending in dollars with American inflation rates. Every single one of those assumptions is different for you. And here is the part that most people do not know. William Bengen himself has since revised his own rule. His updated research put the safe withdrawal rate not at 4%, but at 4.7%. He now recommends 5.25 to 5.5% for current retirees. And when he looked across 100 years of market data, he found the average safe withdrawal rate was approximately 7%. Let me say that again. The man who invented the 4% rule no longer uses 4%. Now, is the 4% rule wrong? No, it is not wrong. It is extremely safe. It is very conservative, very well-researched position. If you can reach a 25x corpus, you have maximum flexibility and maximum security. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being conservative if you have the means. But the 4% rule was never meant to be the only option. It was the most cautious possible starting point, designed for the most uncertain possible scenario. And for many NRIs, using it as the only benchmarks create a number so large that people feel retirement is unachievable and stop planning altogether. This is the real problem, not the number itself, but a number so large it causes inaction, and inaction is the most expensive financial decision of all. Remember, the 4% rule is safe, but safe is not the same as the only option. Your number planned correctly for the Indian context is more achievable than you may think. So, what is the right number for an NRI planning to retire in India? Let me give you 3 levels, because one number does not fit every situation, and I want you to find the one that is honest and achievable for you. The starting point is this: Indian equity markets have delivered approximately 12 to 15% annually over long periods, not in one good decade. consistently across corrections, crises, and recoveries. If your corpus earns 12% and Indian inflation runs at 6%, you have 6% of real return left after inflation. In that environment, withdrawing 6% per year leaves your portfolio essentially intact. The corpus stays the same in real terms while you draw from it comfortably. The maths hold. At 6% withdrawal, you need 17 times your annual expenses, not 25, not 33, 17. Level 1, 17x your annual expenses, the 6% withdrawal case. This is the Indian equity recommendation. Your corpus earns 12% or above, you withdraw 6% and 6% continues to compound inside the fund. Your capital stays intact and in good years it actually grows even as you draw from it. This requires discipline. Your equity investment must be left to grow undisturbed, and you draw from a separate debt bucket during market downturns. But it is a mathematically sound, well structured position backed by actual Indian market data. Level 2, 20x your annual expenses, the 5% withdrawal, middle ground. More conservative than 17x, more achievable than 25x. A 5% withdrawal rate gives you additional buffer for unexpected expenses, market volatility, and a longer planning horizon. For many NRIs, this is the right balance: defensible, achievable, and comfortable. Level 3, 25x your annual expenses, the globally validated standard. Maximum safety, the 4% withdrawal rate. If you can reach this, excellent. You have the widest possible margin for error. But understand that this is the most conservative possible position, and using it as the only option can create a target that feels out of reach and leads to paralysis. For most NRIs who invest consistently in quality Indian equity mutual funds over a working career in the UAE, 17x to 20x is a realistic and defensible and achievable target. Remember, 17x give you 6% withdrawal and 12% plus equity returns. Capital intact, 20x give you 5%, 25x give you 4%. All three are valid. Let me address the one thing that makes most people's retirement number balloon: healthcare cost. Yes, healthcare costs in India are rising. Medical inflation is higher than general inflation. I'm not going to pretend otherwise, but I want to tell you something from personal experience. I have personally undergone angioplasty. The bills ran into lakhs and they were covered almost entirely by my health insurance in India. That experience, more than anything else, convinced me of this: the single most important financial decision you can make for your retirement healthcare is to buy comprehensive health insurance in India while you are still young and healthy, not at 60, now. Health insurance in India, when you buy it in your 40s, is not expensive. A good family floater policy with significant coverage costs a fraction of what you would spend on a single major medical event without it. The key phrase is while you are young, because once you have a pre existing condition, comprehensive coverage becomes significantly more expensive or difficult to obtain. Major hospitalization, which is where the serious money goes, is covered by a good policy. Routine annual expenses, checkups, medication, dental consultations, these are all manageable out of pocket as a normal part of your lifestyle budget. I have not known many people in my life who have been financially ruined by medical costs when they had a proper insurance in place. The stories you hear about families being devastated by medical bills are in most cases stories of inadequate or absence insurance coverage. That is solvable problem, and it is solvable now before you retire. For your retirement number calculation, model a routine healthcare budget of 2 to 3 lakh rupees per year for a couple: checkups, medications, routine dental, and separately get your comprehensive healthcare insurance in place well before retirement. Let the insurance handle the major events. That is exactly what it is for. Remember, health insurance is not an expense, it is the foundation of a retirement that does not collapse under one medical event. Get it in your 40s, not your 60s. Now, let me explain how this actually works in practice because the corpus size is only half the answer. The structure determines whether it lasts. When I plan my own retirement, I use what I call the two bucket approach. I have used it twice, both times it worked. Bucket one, the stability bucket. This holds 3 years of total living expenses, your routine lifestyle costs, plus your annual healthcare budget in liquid, stable instruments, debt mutual funds earning 6 to 8%, short duration funds, fixed deposit instruments that are not exposed to equity market volatility and that you can access within days. The purpose of this bucket is straightforward. When equity market falls, and they will periodically and sometimes significantly, you never touch your growth investments. You draw from bucket one. 3 years of expenses gives you sufficient runway to ride out virtually any market correction without being forced to sell equity at the wrong time. Bucket two, the growth bucket. The rest of your corpus sits here, invested in quality Indian equity mutual funds and global ETFs. This bucket is not touched for at least 3 years at a time. It compounds, it grows, and when bucket one runs low and markets are at a reasonable levels, you replenish it from bucket two. This is the mechanism that makes 6% withdrawal sustainable. The equity earns 12% or above. 6% goes to you as your income. 6% stays in the fund, continuing to compound. In good years, your corpus actually grows even as you draw from it. This is not a complicated strategy. It requires discipline, not complexity. But it is the difference between a retirement portfolio that sustains you for 30 years and one that runs short. Remember, two buckets, stability and growth. Draw from stability, never sell growth during a market fall. This is what makes 6% withdrawal work over a lifetime. Now, I want to tell you about something that very few NRIs plan for and almost none use correctly. When you return to India after being an NRI for several years, Indian tax law gives you a transitional status called RNOR, residential but not ordinarily resident. Under RNOR status, your foreign income is not taxable in India. Only your Indian sourced income is taxed. Depending on how long you have been an NRI, this RNOR status lasts between 2 and 3 financial years after you return. This is your golden window. During RNOR, you can restructure your portfolio efficiently. You can close foreign accounts, repatriate accumulated funds at a tax efficient pace, liquidate international ETFs, and bring the proceeds to India without Indian tax applying to those gains, and establish your Indian investment structure in the most advantageous sequence. The mistake most returning NRIs make is that they do nothing strategically during this window. They land, they settle in, and they figure out the tax implication 2 years later when RONR has already expired and they are now fully taxable residents. Do not let that happen. Before you return, speak to a CA who specializes in NRI taxation and cross border financial planning. Plan the RNOR window in advance. Know which asset you will liquidate, in which sequence, in which financial year. The tax saved from a well planned RNOR transition can be substantial. Remember, RNOR is a gift from the Indian tax code to returning NRIs. But like all gifts, it expires. Plan it before you come, not after. Let me bring this together into a simple 5 step framework you can use right now. Step 1, write down your expected monthly expenses in India in today's rupees. Be honest, include housing, domestic help, food, utilities, transport, entertainment, and any family support. This is your lifestyle baseline. Step 2, add a routine healthcare budget separately. A starting estimate for a healthy couple with good health insurance in place is 2 to 3 lakh rupees per year. Routine checkups, medications, dental. Major hospitalization is handled by your insurance. Step 3, calculate your total annual retirement spending. Monthly lifestyle expenses multiplied by 12 plus your annual routine healthcare figure. Step 4, choose your corpus multiplier based on your situation and your peace of mind. 17x if you are investing in quality Indian equity and are committed to disciplined management. 20x for a conservative middle ground. 25x if you want the globally validated maximum safety standard. Step 5, add a transition fund of 12 to 18 months of total expenses held in liquid debt instruments ready before you retire. This covers the first phase of your return before your two bucket structure is fully operational. Here is a worked example. Monthly lifestyle expenses 2 lakh rupees. Annual 24 lakhs. Routine healthcare budget 3 lakhs per year. Total annual retirement spending 27 lakhs. At 17x, the 6% withdrawal Indian equity case, your corpus target is approximately 4.6 crore. At 20x, the 5% withdrawal middle ground, your corpus target is 5.4 crore. At 25x, the globally validated standard, your corpus target is 6.75 crore, plus a transition fund of approximately 40 lakhs in all three cases. For a comfortable life of 2 lakhs a month in a tier 1 Indian city with good health insurance in place and a properly structured two bucket portfolio, your corpus target is between 4.6 and 6.75 crores. That is a real achievable number, not a figure that should cause despair. A target that, with consistency, equity investment over a working career in the UAE is absolutely within reach. Remember, at 6% withdrawal on Indian equity, 17x your annual expenses for 2 lakhs per month, that is 4.6 crore, not 10 crore. Plan correctly, structure it right, and your number is reachable. Let me bring this home. The goal of this video was never to frighten you with a large number. The goal was to give you a number that is honest and achievable, one that you can work toward with confidence rather than one that makes you feel like you will never get there. Yes, retirement requires planning. Yes, you need to invest consistently and stay disciplined. You need health insurance in place before you need it. And you need to understand the structure of your corpus, not just its size. But the bottom line is this: for a comfortable retirement in India, a well planned corpus of 4.6 to 6.75 crore is achievable for an NRI who invests consistently in Indian equity mutual funds over a working career in the UAE. I have retired twice, once at 52 and once at 58. The reason it worked financially is not because I earned more than anyone else. It is because I calculated honestly, built the right structure, and did not let a number that felt impossibly large become an excuse to delay. You have time. Start where you are. Stay invested and let the time and Indian equity do the heavy lifting. If this video gave you clarity, even a starting point, a real direction, please like it. It helps this channel reach more NRIs who deserve honest, achievable answers to these questions. Subscribe to Investing with Siddick. New videos every week, built specifically for NRIs in the UAE and Gulf. Please leave in the comments what is your target corpus right now. And after watching this, does it change how you think about it? I read every comment. Your answer shapes what I make next. And with that note, I'll see you in the next.